Will there be any adjustments to the agenda, such as changing the order of items? Hearing of visitors. Yes?
I just find that the Trump hat on the table, Mike, is in bad taste at best.
The what?
The Trump hat on the table probably feels like it's in bad taste at best for a community meeting like this one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Deb?
It's just insensitive to half our town.
I don't
really feel like
I
it
don't
should-
wear 'em
Is
by
this
hat.
insensitive?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't say Trump.
Well,
For the
that's your
Deb?
opinion, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
okay,
I
I'm sorry.
disagree with you, I'm not
Deb?
going to remove it.
I could never let a meeting go without several items. I asked quite a while ago about if there was been any communication regarding the burned out house on Mill Road. There has been just garbage left out, insulation, it's, nope. I called the realtor, they don't know anything, she still has her sign out there. I tried to reach out to the homeowners, I don't know who to reach out to, and it's the plywood is now peeling off of the windows. If that was on Main Road, it would be, you guys would be all over it. And I was told 8 months ago that it's really not any of our business, so it is. It is our business at this point. And I was wondering if you as a select board could take some action on it.
Who said it wasn't our business?
8 months ago, I was told that. I'm happy to look back and.
By who? Us?
You guys,
Probably.
yeah, yeah.
Cause was the fire like in the winter or something?
No, it was in July, so it was a good year and a half ago,
Okay.
yeah. So by now, insurance.
What did the realtor say when you called the realtor, they're not selling it?
They have, she said, well, they haven't had a contract canceled, and I said, well, surely it's expired. Yeah,
Are taxes paid on it?
I don't remember the name of
you can't find out any information, it's just such an eyesore. I can't believe the neighbors haven't complained about it.
Right, do we have an ordinance
Where would the
in
bank?
town on,
Nope,
I mean, that's what I'm saying, we don't have an ordinance on eyesores, right? So I
Just
don't
would be
see what we can,
junk.
our follow.
I can-
Junk,
Junk.
there's an ordinance on junk.
If there's a health problem,
Health hazard.
Yeah.
Hazard.
Hazardous
Hazardous
Yes,
condition.
it's a hazard.
Is the property fenced off or anything like that?
No.
no.
We should probably-
If it's unsafe,
Yeah,
where
it should be.
children can go in there or something.
Oh,
The
of course
bank's
they
not involved at any level? I mean, is
What's
it-
that? I don't know even who the bank is. I guess I could look up records to see who holds a mortgage, if anybody. But they were, I know
Yeah.
it was being
Well, the
left
bank
as
didn't do
is
it.
because there was an ongoing investigation, whether it was arson. But
Right, so the
that's,
insurance company might not want certain things done, but.
I don't even
Yeah.
know, I can't get any
They should
information.
have
I even
it.
tried as like.
Huh?
as
They
a-
should have it fenced off.
David.
Right, right.
It's their own line.
Well, that's why I was asking if we have an ordinance or not, so if we did something, I wanna make sure it was something
They
we
just-
solved.
Had the fire and left.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
So that's number one. I was
Can
wondering,
you see if there is a mortgage on it?
that would be, Lori, you'd be able to get that through recorded deeds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
can find it.
Yep.
Um,
And then we could work through the bank
the
maybe?
bank might be we don't know if the taxes, but you can check if previous
Well,
taxes.
important, I mean, is it being foreclosed
Everything
on
on that,
or
yeah.
anything, so. we-
But maybe you could ask the bank that too, because they might
Unless
not
it's a
even,
bank like,
right, they might
a
not even
national-
know where this is.
Slipper right there.
Stanford
Side of the road.
Selectboard.
It doesn't
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
See what you can find out about that.
And I'll follow up with you, Lori.
That property, you think it goes on the other side of the river, or is it just that little sliver?
Yeah, it goes
Goes
across
on
the
the other
river.
side.
Goes across the road.
Road,
On the other side.
on the other side of the road
I
too?
think it's like an acre and a half or something, it's not.
Yeah, that piece where the house is just like a little pie.
Yeah,
Then
And they
don't-
did buy
don't-
the barn.
and
They
it,
did buy the
it
barn.
can't be really
Somehow,
a tear
somehow.
down because you can't rebuild on it,
No.
so,
Oh, we didn't, sorry.
I mean, and I
What do
don't,
you mean it can't be a tear down?
because it's in the flood.
nobody's gonna buy it as a charity.
No.
Oh, I see.
But they could have probably, right after the fire, they could have remodeled.
Can't build it if you tear it all down.
Right.
If it's all done, you can't.
Right.
Say no.
Yeah, and it's well beyond, well,
But I would think the best bet is to follow through something on a health issue.
Well, who's the health officer?
Not health, so much as public safety.
Who would that be? Because
I
it's
don't
not
know
me.
if we have one anymore, do we?
We did have a health, it's Luke, this is Luke.
Oh, Luke
I
is
think
now?
it's Luke. Have him look into if there's any, just have him call the state and see if there's anything that.
Yeah, I mean, he gets paid for it, so he might as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't, sorry. I'd be happy to do it, but
paid for health officer
he doesn't?
Is the structure,
25 bucks a year.
a year,
With the board.
so we don't get paid for that.
is the structure
Wait a
still
minute, they
there?
don't have,
Structure's still there.
I'm not sure how much
Yeah,
it's
I
been
don't know.
compromised,
Right.
though.
So if the structure is still there, you can fix it up and
If you get paid or not.
you just can't tear it down.
Can't tear it down once you're out of it.
I don't think you
tear
can
it down
fix that
and
up.
dump it. The structure's still there. you just-
Yeah.
yeah, Luke.
It's not
Luke is appointed by the state,
Yeah, yeah. Looked like it was just furniture.
So-
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's never.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he's appointed by the state or
Yeah,
us, or he
so-
gets paid or not.
he might
If that's
have,
his position, we'll ask him.
he might have a little more
No, it's turned over
being
lot,
a
but
state
15 years ago,
employee
so-
or whatever, and you could tell him.
Okay.
But if you would follow through on the mortgage and bank, because,
Regarding the church,
Yes.
I have two things. I would just like to know why that was executive session to make that decision. It wasn't contract related. We all paid for the inspection report, and I'd like to know if the inspection report is going to be made public to us.
the decision to discuss the inspection report was done in the executive session because we are still in contract. The decision to not buy the church came out of executive session, and we did it in open meeting.
Right. I'm aware of that.
The inspection report is public, so you can request it from Lori and she can email it to you.
Okay.
But it's 100 pages.
Oh, no, I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
I-
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
and I know
colorful
that
pictures.
one of the buyers was hoping to get it from you, but because they were going to reimburse the town for the cost of the inspection, and it was denied, which I was surprised.
What was denied?
Who told you
Aware of
that?
that.
Who told you
Probably
that?
the other realtor, the buyer, the new buyer.
That were-
It was denied?
It was, she wanted to pay for the inspection that the town paid.
The other buyer told you that?
Yes,
Well,
yeah, they must have
she
the
could
realtors.
make a donation, but it's public record, so
Yeah, that's what I
we
thought.
can't,
But no
we
one,
can't sell it.
yeah.
I mean, we can't charge for it, it's just like unless it's a land record, then you charge. Unless it's a land record, then
Right.
there's certain things that Lori has to charge for, but
And
that's
what was the cost of all this? What did that-
$1,009
Okay.
or 19. Hmm? 9 or 19?
Oh, no.
Oh, 9.
But it would expedite things for the new buyer.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was going forward with it anyway, but it would have been helpful, and she thought maybe the town would like to be reimbursed.
Sure.
We would love to be
That's
reimbursed.
great.
Yes.
They only contacted us now.
Nope.
Yeah, but they denied her access to the report. That's why I'm asking.
No,
What
they
is
got
they
it.
denied?
They
The
got it.
realtors. The
We-
realtor.
It's our report, not the
But
realtor.
Maybe the realtor wants to sell the property and is afraid.
Yeah, I don't know how the
The
realtor
realtor
could deny our
is-
report.
The outcome.
The realtor that requested the report has got the report.
Yeah, but I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the realtor, the other buyer should come to the town and say that, not the realtor has no right to deny what we paid for, it's
Okay.
ours.
I'll get clarification on that.
Yeah, it's-
Okay.
So,
That's all.
okay. Any other visitors? Hearing of visitors, okay. Reading and approval of records and orders. We have several meetings. Emergency meeting of October 15th, 2024. Were we all there? I don't know. I think we
I was.
probably were.
Motion Motion to approve.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One of them didn't have a date on it, but, I mean, a time, like when it, one of the minutes. I wasn't sure which one it was. Like the meeting was called to order at,
Two of them now.
two of them.
24th and the 17th, Nancy Pashika opened the meeting with a pledge of allegiance.
15th
No
had
time.
one. 17th, that was,
Is there time on the agenda?
17th was a regular
Yeah, it
meeting.
was- yeah.
Yeah, there's a time on the warrant.
Can I have, a
Motion.
motion for the 17th?
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
24th,
Motion. Second. Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
So we, oh yeah, that was here.
We've all been there.
And the 30th.
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Road conditions, Dave.
I think we had talked before about the turnaround on Henry Hill.
Yes.
That property's been sold a year or so ago, and, our turnaround was not within the highway right of way. So, I tried to contact the new owner, I did talk to him briefly at one point, but tried to contact him again, try to work something out there, and I was unable to get a hold of him, so I just ended up building a new turnaround within the right of way, within our right of way now, that'll be adequate, at least for now. So, one less thing to worry about, I guess, but,
Where it was before, is it better? And, or wasn't it, were you saying that his employees were parked there the way
Yeah.
anyways?
his employees were parking there, and he put a dumpster there, so it's kinda obviously needed to use the spot, so.
Okay. So, because I see him a lot, so I can tell him, but if he's,
I
Using
actually talked to the lady that lives there, his wife.
Yeah.
About it when we were building the one. She was really nice about it. Oh, maybe we can work something out. I said, you obviously need to use the space. I need to use the space. It's your property.
Yeah.
We'll just do something different. So that's taken care of.
Okay. So it's on our property then?
Yeah, well, it's within our right of way. I worked with the property owner in that area, Scott Strange. So I worked with him and created a new turnaround there. Should be adequate. We did get our 2019 Freightliner back from having the transmission put in. That seems to be running fine now. We were doing some ditching over on Klondike Road, but we're trying to wrap things up here for as far as summer maintenance goes. We did some grading, but there's minimal moisture. It's, even when they say it's gonna rain, it's not, so it's, I think everything's in, drivable condition. I wouldn't say anything's horrible, but considering how little moisture we've had, it's pretty good.
I wanna go back to the Freightliner.
Sure.
How much is the new transmission and is any under warranty or?
No, well, it should have a year warranty on the transmission that's in it now, as far as the warranty. I don't know if that includes labor, but the part itself,
Is that the one we had two bills on? They took it in, fixed, thought they
Right.
fixed it, didn't, so they
Right.
paid for a load?
we paid for which I discussed with you, unfortunately, we had to pay for the repair that didn't work, and then the replacement, so.
What year
Is
is
it
that truck?
anybody we can talk to?
I tried, like I said, I think I talked to you at this meeting if you wanted to give it a whirl, go ahead, but, I didn't get anywhere, and you're stuck, it's, one-stop shopping nowadays, you can go to one place, they're all by the same
It's
people.
like going to a doctor.
Yep.
It's like, I'm sure one thing don't work, oh yeah, it was something else.
You're really kind of cutting your own throat if you get too ornery with them, because
Right.
then you're gonna get on the street to the other place they own, and
Okay.
I gotta be able to call them and be able to get things,
Yeah.
and not have them, have an attitude for it, so.
I think we worked for one year Ford, we tried that with Bennington and that didn't work either.
Right, yeah, you're not gonna get too far, I don't believe, but
What
I
road
wanna
were
say
you-
it was somewhere around $16,000 total between the repair and then the replacement, so.
What road
Consider-
were you working on now after the Freightliner?
Well, we did some ditching over on Klondike Road. We've repaired a few culverts. Get us through winter on the class 4, at least on Klondike County Road. Mike and I are gonna go off for hunting season, so, you know, everything will be ready for snow plowing. At that point, we ran the sanders to make sure everything will work, so, already.
Technically, when you say off, you're on call though.
Yeah,
I know you
we're on
are,
call.
Dave, when you see the snow flurries, you're there.
Yeah, I mean, well, on call, I guess it's up to me to just go deal with it.
You usually don't leave it.
No,
You're usually
we'll be here.
conscientious about that.
We'll be around anyway if there's an issue.
You're not going to Ohio again this year?
No. No. Maybe about 8 or 9 more years.
Yeah.
So,
I'll probably have a house by then out there.
yeah. No, I think everything's pretty good. I think we're looking pretty good for winter at this point, so. Blowing leaves, just typical fall stuff. My budget's kind of busted anyway as far as any more road work goes. We had a lot of unexpected expenses this year, so. Between repairs and just highway maintenance.
Looking forward for next year, where do you foresee your budget going, and is there anything you wanna work on that needs attention?
Well, I hate to even open the can of worms, but trees are gonna be a huge issue here at some point.
The ones on East Road,
Every-
Jefferson.
I mean, I think they're everywhere. I think dead trees are everywhere. I think that's something we're gonna have to start to at least pick away at. You know, I mean, those 3 trees cost us $5,000. So, not all of them are gonna be that bad, but you know, a lot of them are. We're not really equipped to deal with that.
A lot of old trees on the old roads.
Yeah.
I would start getting bids for stuff like that, and then you could potentially put it in your budget for next year. And so you know
So much a year for
somewhat expect and
Yeah.
figure it out as you go.
I would say bare minimum, putting $10,000 in there to deal with trees, and it's not even gonna put a dent in, you know. But at least it would be something,
10K for 5 years.
you know.
We'll find
It would be,
what you
it'd be something
The
at
road
least.
where you get to the accident, yeah, by the time you finish them all, they're going back up.
Yeah, I'd say it's at least an
Free
effort.
fund.
I mean, considering I'm only at, I usually get 40,000, I think we're up to 40,000 now for highway maintenance, I mean, that's a quarter of the budget, so.
Do you think maybe we could look into buying something so we could do some of the work ourselves? Or is that something you wanna continue subbing out?
Unfortunately, I think with a 2-person highway crew, it's just too much extra. We'll never get any, you know, the rest of our work won't get done. So then the ditching won't get done, or the grading won't get done, or, you know, we used to, I mean, this town used to hire out a ton of work and have 2 or 3 employees, so, you know, it's been cut way back. So to keep adding work, I mean, it's just, if I have to go deal with a tree here and there or something, we can do it, but some trees are, I can, you know, I can, if the property owner cooperates, I can bring the loader over and push them onto the property, it's just the woods, you know, but, you know, that requires trying to contact the property owner and getting them to agree, and so, some of them are just really too dangerous already.
Dave, yeah, that one on Mill, I think it's on our property, but it's leaning over the ash tree, do you know which one I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
think right by the bridge.
Right, that's,
I would say
it's,
it's
oh,
outdoor, right?
we don't know what to do with it because it's pushing on another birch, which is now pushing on the wires.
Yeah, so that would be Green Mountain Power. I would
Yeah,
say.
I don't think they're gonna do anything about it until it
Right,
comes down.
that's
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah.
They don't do
Yeah.
preventative
I
maintenance.
know,
And
and yet
I
we
follow
don't
them.
wanna mess with it because
Yeah,
it would
no.
entail shutting off the power even though the tree is essentially, I don't know if it's not in your right of way.
No, I would say it's right on the edge.
It's probably
I would say
right
it's
on the
probably
edge.
out with the right
But
of way.
it's touching the wire? It's pushing another tree, which is
Touching the wire.
They have cut trees down in the past in town. I know that they knocked on my door, did it for me,
Mm-hmm.
because it was threatening the power lines, but
Yeah,
That was
we
15
tried
years
over
ago.
the summer and they weren't.
See, I call, if you go up my house, there's a whole bunch of dead pines. They planted the pine trees years ago. That right away goes way up behind the pines. It's all,
Green Mountain Power
It's-
planted them.
well, I think the state did when they put Route 100 through, but I have a power line going right through the trees. And I would say once a year, something falls down and hits the power lines. I lose power 9, 10 times a year. And I'm right on the main road.
Yeah, we're easily up to 9%.
Yeah, well, that's like, you
Yeah.
call them, say, hey, look, you can see, you were up here, 2 months ago, cutting this one off, the power lines. Why don't you cut them, all of them out of the way? And I don't dare cut them and then have it fall on the power line.
Well,
As far as anything else goes, I mean, next year, we're gonna do the chip seal and shim on East Road, which is funded by a grant and some of our ARPA money. So we shouldn't have to ask for money for that. But, mud season, people drive more. There's a lot more back and forth traffic, I mean, there's not a lot of moisture in the ground now, maybe a decent mud season, and, get a bunch of rain, it freezes in the road, and comes out too quick, it's hard to say. But typically, that's where we spend the majority of my maintenance money is for mud.
I don't know if I wanna bring this up either, but I'm going to, gravel in town. So there's talk, I guess, it's not really rumors, that there's some issues with gravel in town. If that becomes a problem where one or both gravel places in town shut down, just shut down, I don't know what would be the reason for them shut down, there's many reasons, but whether it's retiring or state or whatever, we would have to go out of town to get gravel. This is why I always never understood why townspeople get the state involved in things. But, if we have to go out of town, that budget's gonna probably come close to double.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a huge inconvenience.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really have property to store ahead really either, so
Right.
it's not even like I can just buy a bunch and have it here for the convenience, it's gonna be, I mean, typically now, if I have an issue, I just make a phone call and then the truck's there in a half hour,
Yeah.
and that's not gonna be the case. And the place might not even be open, I mean, I can call John Bull Sunday, Easter morning, because I've got mud, I've done it, and he's there in a half hour,
Is there any more potential for any more gravel pits in town?
I would say probably not.
It takes, and it also, the permitting process takes so long, it's not gonna be anything quick. Is John's
Well, that sounds like it's gonna be more than just a local problem.
I don't know, I'm just talking to
Yeah.
Dave mentioned it, Dave mentioned
Yeah,
it.
there's been, some issues that they're working through in the state, but,
Dave Johns too?
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how much I wanna say about it, it's not
Right.
really my business, other than, this is
It's
a
just,
service to
I'm
the
worried
town,
about
yeah.
our future, that's all.
This is why I bring up paving again. I mean, I've had a lot of people confront me that are absolutely against it, but.
Like, you're always gonna get, we've talked about this before, and I'm not trying to get on a soapbox, but we've talked about this before, is you only can make so many people happy. Whether you just mentioned, we have no properties to store anything. Go try to buy a property and half people don't wanna spend money buying a property. Try to start try to pave, so you don't have to use as much gravel, you have people that wanna have it paved. People live on the road, half them probably want more, than half want to pave, but the guy who runs the town goes, what about me? Same thing with the trees, you got trees at 10 roads, you cut trees up there, and people over here are gonna say, why didn't you cut my trees? And, you can't make everybody happy, it's a thankless job.
For sure.
And it gets harder and harder all the time to try to manage all this, not just in Stamford, but
tough.
any little town that has limited budgets. It's just hard,
Well, as the educational budget gets bigger, we have
Right.
to shrink our own services to our,
Right.
majority of our people.
No, you just have to charge more.
Well, we have to, yeah.
I don't know how
we
much
shouldn't have to,
training we
because we still have to do the work. It's
Yeah.
required.
You know, we used to spend $100,000 or more a year for road maintenance when I started working here 15 years ago.
Now what are we
Now
down to,
it's at
40?
40. It was at 20 for years.
There's a, it's
So-
like a double-edged sword, there's a cost to live in rurally, but then if you invest too much into municipality services, then you're not that rural anymore.
Right.
You know, so it's a place
This
to
will come to
play.
be a reasonable argument next month or December
Budget.
for budget.
Here's a, you know, we have to start looking at the battles that we fight, the little bickering about a sign or something needs to stop.
Yeah.
We have to just as a board say, hey, this is what we're doing, bite the bullet, and make decisions. It's getting to the point where we're not, like you said, some 5 people complain about one thing, we all, you know.
Well, it's a
you know,
50.
You can't, the other thing we can't have is a town meeting for every vote.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain town meetings that need to be done, but for people to understand that, you know, when it hits them hard, they're like, oh geez, we need a town meeting, the town didn't speak about it. But all the other decisions, they don't even show up at these meetings. We gotta, you know, we just gotta stop that.
It's all the little
This
stuff
small
that adds up to
bickering.
the big stuff.
Yeah.
Loud noise gets
The
attention.
future is, you know, we gotta start changing, the future's not gonna be easy for the
Yeah.
town.
No, it's hard, it's already hard. I mean,
Yeah.
you do it with limited resources, there's no income in town, so.
No.
We don't have a destination next to us. It's a rural place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can either just deal with not getting home or pay.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, it's the way of life here,
It's
it
a
has to,
price.
has to be accepted.
I mean, they drive up through Wilmington and Dover in the springtime, and the people are all parked out on Route 9, you know, and on 100, you don't get off the pavement.
Right.
You know, the roads are shot,
Yeah.
but they just have to deal with it, and I'm not suggesting that's where we go with it, but that could be a reality,
patience.
so you don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely make people appreciate what they have.
There's something to it.
Anything else, Dave? Okay. Recycling. Nothing on recycling? Skipping down to correspondence, review and respond to municipal impact questionnaire. And then review and respond to school impact questionnaire. Well, I looked at the school impact questionnaire and I asked Lori to please get back to, John Dupers is the one that submitted these for an Act 250 questionnaire, and I asked her to have John send it to the school because we're not gonna fill that out. And it says it has to be signed by a superintendent anyway.
Act 250 for the school,
It's for this impact
It's an
questionnaire.
impact question for a landowner.
okay.
So, we all got it
Um,
on your email.
I wonder what the impact of the.
Yeah, they wanna know the impact of the
on
town.
school and town.
Oh, okay.
So-
This is what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
this,
Yeah, when we have a
Stuff.
flooding event, now we can't get material.
Yeah.
Is this a complaint?
This-
Because we're competing with everyone.
right, this state stuff will bog us down and it'll bankrupt the town.
Now, the cover letters, we are doing an after the fact, Act 250 permit for John and Heather Tegens for the driving range property and then the Jackson Road property. I think they get to the gravel bank from both spots. So, to be completed by the town manager, does the municipality have capacity to provide the following services without reasonable burden to the above project? This is for both projects, I'm gonna fill them out for both, or Lori. Fire protection,
Yeah.
yes, we do have that service, and we can provide it. Police protection, no. Rescue service, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Road maintenance, on the Tejan driving range, I said no. On the road maintenance for Jepson Road, yes.
Maintain Jackson.
Solid waste disposal, we do provide that for both of them. Now, if we answer no to any of the questions, explain why the municipality cannot provide the service.
Well, just put big funding, underfunded.
No, have no police force.
Yeah.
police
The
protection,
state police
no
department.
police department. And then on the Tejan's driving range, access to site is on a state highway.
State,
Same with the Jepson Road, no police. That was the only no. Who provides the services? State police and state of Vermont. Now, would the deficiencies occur without this project?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, whether the project's involved now, still ain't gonna
you
have.
can't have that, right,
police
yeah.
And whatever else, yeah, it's not
Okay.
gonna matter.
If the deficiencies are common to many projects, does this project create burdens which are proportionate to the taxes and user fees to be paid to the municipality? No. No?
Say it creates burden if it's not there. If it's not a gravel pit, then it creates
That's
burden.
exactly true, right?
So no to both of them. And are you available after sufficient notice to answer questions related to the above statement at an Act 250 hearing? Maybe somebody would, but
How about online?
well, it doesn't give us that
Why
option.
is this, why, can I ask why this is coming about now?
Just that John has an act, after the fact, Act 250 permit.
He has to come in compliance with the state with his gravel up, whatever he's got going on his property.
And this must be part of the permitting process.
Yep, so he had to hire an engineer, which is why Trinity's
After the
involved,
fact.
and
Yeah, gravel bed. and
Trying to make it right with the
found
state.
out that he's doing it, and he
Okay.
never put it.
Didn't he ever, I mean, that's been there
He's
for
always
years.
had it.
He's always had
Yeah,
it.
he didn't necessarily need it for that. I think there's other issues.
They found out, should be called.
We don't really know why, so we can't speculate.
Do you want me to say no, are you available for the Act 250? Well, we don't have anything to say about it, really.
And if you wanna say yes, but then when they call up and say, hey, we're gonna give you time, say, well, we don't have time.
I'll say Mike's available.
Well, if you're gonna come here, I'll stop, I'll talk to anybody right here, but if they want me to go to Mount Pelion or do it, I don't know if I can make it.
I'll
You
put
can come
yes
pick me up,
in.
maybe, I don't know.
We are,
Well,
we're amenable to,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
I'll give you this.
yeah, it's crazy.
But you have to, good.
Great, somebody.
We'll have it ready for
By the time they get around to it, it might be a new board.
Okay, let's see. Whole business, is that where we want to bring up the fire department?
Sure.
That's part of you. Oh, could be. Go for it.
Okay.
What
You
happened,
want to shoot or me?
Is this
Go
the same
ahead,
thing
Lori.
we're gonna be, we got in our package, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Lori, last meeting, we said go, fill out the paperwork for the bank.
So I filled out the paperwork for the bank. There's a window between when the fire truck will be ready and the funding is needed and the March town meeting where the voters will approve the financing and purchase. So the bank needs some sort of, you wanna say?
Town
commitment.
vote.
Town vote.
The bank called yesterday wanting documentation of a town vote for the actual purchase of the fire engine. And under their rules and regs in Massachusetts, they want a town vote on the nature of the financing for it, in that we're going to borrow money.
And we should have had that at a town meeting too, because it slipped here. Because even though when we buy a truck, we always say, we wanna buy a truck and the money will be borrowed up to 5 years.
This
and
is
we
a-
didn't do it. It slipped,
Well, we kinda
just,
assumed, I guess you wanna use that bad word, but we got it for the financing part, putting the money aside, assumed that it was voted to buy.
Yes,
but I
Why
think,
we put money aside, it's
but she
something we did.
wanted that question specifically, and we didn't,
yeah,
at the time that we asked for the 50,000, the increase to 50,000 a year,
We didn't have
we didn't have a
We don't
number.
We
Right.
have a number,
So we didn't really want to open a can of worms that we didn't have any answer for.
Right.
You know, when we started this 2 years ago, generally, the truck was at about 450,000, or 75. It finished at 528.
Probably.
What were you gonna tell people? What kind of position would you have been in if last March you asked for 475,000?
Yeah, we're still,
we didn't have the figures in
We'd have
March.
another, we'd be, right now, we'd be in the same position of having the same meeting because we'd be talking about spending $50,000 more than the town authorized.
right.
So this meeting will resolve it. And you have a copy of the proposed warrant.
My only concern is what if they vote not to buy it?
Well, that's the bank's, that's the
What's
bank's.
We lose a lot of money.
We lose a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Fire department without a truck.
No truck and,
But we already put a lot of money down on it, that's.
Yep. 107.
Common sense. We think, but we already own the chassis.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
True, that or else
Same
we-
They potentially could have parts of the
There
truck.
happens to be a body on it. I've got pictures and Paul has sent them as of the first of the month. We've never had any difficulty or negative response in all the time that we've asked for permission to purchase fire
It's
equipment in
understandable,
the past.
yeah, it's just,
I don't foresee it either. It's a good question though.
It's a
If it
valid-
wasn't a fire truck and it was a
Town truck.
town truck, it might be a little bit.
It's a valid question, John, but I don't foresee it, and I've run enough of the meetings for the last,
I wanna say a majority of people in town assume that it's already gone through, so they're just gonna
Well,
say yes.
they voted for the money.
Yeah.
To put money aside. They didn't vote for it.
and I'm perfectly happy to,
When the time came to explain it to,
Yeah.
if I want to stand there as president of the trustees and explain how we came to this and why it was necessary under Massachusetts
yeah, it's a
regulations.
bank financial conundrum, we need to try to straighten it out.
You know, I brought up to Tracy O'Connell this afternoon, the last truck we bought 20-odd years ago. Paul's father and Steve Crow, who was the president of Mountain One at the time, had a handshake deal that finalized the loan on a golf course. It wasn't, all of this regulations came in after 2000.
The good old days.
So Lori, Monday, December 9th, the school is available.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
When is
I
that?
know
What
this was
day?
drafted just today, I haven't checked with Paul, I haven't checked with the school, I guess.
I would say,
I would
well, I don't know
imagine
why it
Monday
wouldn't
night.
be at 7 o'clock at night.
It's a Monday night, which normally they don't schedule anything.
I think we'll sign it tonight, and if we have to revise this warrant quickly, let's make a vote that we can revise the date quickly. Because Lori wants to get this done, and the fire truck is coming.
What would be your other date if we couldn't do the seventh?
So if we push this up by 1 week, 9 and 7 is 16, you'd have it on the following Monday.
We can have it on the next
So
day.
other than the date, everything else, I have a question is, because there was a discrepancy in the amount, the mathematics of the amount.
It was unknown.
And Paul, well, there was, yeah, that no $1,000.
Oh, the $1,700?
Yeah, and Paul already sent us an email, I understand that. But these numbers, if these numbers are, should we put, is this enough, I guess my question.
Well, you know,
270 is more than enough.
This bill just mentioned 528. Is the truck 526 or 528?
So,
What's written?
26.
26 in the warrant, so
526.
we wanna
And
That's the bill that we actually have coming.
yeah, in the town shall borrow the sum of 270, that's not to exceed 270. That's enough. And then some, right?
Well, we've already applied for that amount, everything's.
Okay.
The bank is ready, given the vote of the town, the bank is ready to let
Yeah,
it
okay.
through within like
I just-
48 hours.
Because sometimes mathematics gets messed up, I understand that. You know, there's mistakes, you know, we all make mistakes.
We think we looked at this two ways,
Well,
you know, several ways.
a couple eyes on it, yeah. Because I have no problem making a motion and all that, I just want to make sure the numbers were good before we did it. I don't have to come back and do it again. But I'll make a motion.
Yeah, if we need, it's not gonna be a whole lot more if we have to make an amendment at town meeting too.
Right, it'll be within
It will be
Yeah,
in
we
the
can-
percentage
okay.
allowed that we have to give.
But I really think, like you said, I want to do it, get this done. We don't want to wait.
We need to because
Truck's ready.
the truck is expected at the dealership by Thanksgiving, the end of this month. And they expect it several weeks to paint it, put lettering on it, whatever you do, just like to prepare a new car. Except it takes more on a fire truck.
Yeah.
And if we can get this on the 8th and have a loan ready by the 10th, you know, it's not unreasonable to tell them we need an extra week to finish financing.
Okay.
But I don't wanna see it run way past that. Personally, I'm always concerned that these kind of meetings usually are held on a Monday. I don't think there's anything written in town other than is customary.
Oh, for town meetings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
but if we can't get a date on the 9th, on Monday at the school, we'll take Tuesday, the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're not limited to Mondays, we can do Tuesday or Wednesday and still be able to pull it
And not
together.
lose a week.
The 10th is
Time.
on Tuesday,
Right.
Sunday.
Yeah, I think you guys, I think it's the 7th, it says the 7th here, I think we're talking 7th and 8th, not 9th and 10th.
Where's that?
Monday,
Oh.
November.
December.
Oh, I'm sorry.
December.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
Monday.
Monday and then.
We know that.
I'm looking at the wrong number, or the wrong month, this is November 7th. We're talking-
right, yeah.
Today's the 7th.
Today, yeah.
So can I have a motion to,
Mike made the motion.
Yeah.
can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and I'm gonna just say that I've always been against special town meetings, but I've always said that. But I know we've got, in this case, we slipped up and just how circumstances happen, so we've gotta have it.
So it's unanimous.
Yes,
So in my
yes,
set motion, we're including a clause to revise the dates if we need to.
Yes,
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 and
yes.
anything else we're gonna put in there.
yep.
Okay.
Nancy,
Anything for accuracy.
And you don't have to put my comment, I'm in favor of it, but that's just my comment, I've always never liked
Well, it
special
costs
town
money to
meetings.
have it, that's the whole thing. It
Well-
costs money, it's time, you know.
There's a lot of people that don't show up because it's not normal and, yeah,
Well,
once a year, have a town meeting and that's it. That's it. Okay, what else? That's it on the fire truck?
That's it on the front.
Okay. We did mention the church, is there anything else we wanna say on it? We mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting that we're not following through with that. Okay?
Is it out of line to ask ballpark what they estimated costs would be?
We did not go that far. We know the inspection committee or team does not give you a cost. But we saw that what has gotta be fixed and it's a lot.
so what we wanted, I think, I don't think I'm out of line by saying, when we wanted to, at the town meeting, have 100,000 for repairs, this would
Wouldn't
have
cover it.
just the initial bang, probably would have been within that. You know, we talked to, I did talk to a sewer guy, and he said it would be between 40 and 50,000 just for sewer. So we're looking at, you know, bam, there's, you know, $40,000-$50,000 for sewer, you know.
I'm sure there's $15,000-$20,000 worth of electrical.
Electrical.
There's
you know.
live
So,
wires.
like I said, there is a report, I don't really wanna say too much, cause the other buyer would like to see that. I'd rather have the other buyer have that, you know, I know it's public, But I'd rather see the other buyer have that report in their hands
Yep.
and move forward, because it's in the best
I
interest of
didn't
them.
realize that they didn't put a dollar amount on it.
It would also,
No,
they
it's
won't-
not
they
their
won't
problem.
do it.
It's
it also
not-
They're
has
not-
to be ADA compliant, and you have to have fire suppression system in
Yeah.
there.
So we're looking
You
at,
wouldn't
it's,
have to,
yeah, it's
It's
different for
public-
us
public
than it
building.
is for them.
but
So it's
we,
a lot.
do we have here?
No.
Fire
No, but when you
suppression?
when you open a new
Yeah.
building, you start, you say, okay, I'm gonna have a
But
center
this
now.
was added on, right? So
Well,
at the time, you didn't have to?
Must be
It's
not.
way
because they
before
had-
me, that's right.
I don't know whether there were
2006.
ADA rules at the time.
Yeah,
Well, we had something that had to do with ramp.
We had the
Right.
bathroom was ADA compliant, that was a grant through the state, so.
but there is grandfather
Well,
clause.
that's not even touching the second floor.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
It'll
asbestos
probably go
downstairs.
to similar projects, because I did talk to the other buyer also. It will probably go to similar projects than what we were actually thinking. Good for the town, so hopefully that happens. Not that we can, we have no say on that, but it seems like
I think it,
they're,
I think it will.
yeah, their, thought
Very
processes.
community
Yeah,
oriented
yeah.
facility.
So it's a town, people are already in town.
And they
which is
wouldn't
nice.
have to go through
Not the
the
same,
compliance.
Right.
yeah, right.
And they could do it in stages if they want, or.
Correct, correct.
Still gonna benefit, I think.
I think so, yeah, I think the people are, town minded oriented, nice.
Just wanna mention that the ZBA hearing is Tuesday. John, will you be able to attend Tuesday night? For ZBA hearing for the sign? I think it's 6 o'clock.
I think it might be 7. Oh, don't go.
7?
I thought maybe you were later, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's 6:30.
What is it?
I was gonna say, I think it's
Right on my
6:30.
calendar.
6:30.
What is
You've
with all
got,
these
you've got a
Tuesdays?
meeting that
I
night.
do.
I guess.
It's Tuesday.
I mean, I'm gonna try to be there. I don't know
Oh,
if it's
good.
gonna make any
So,
difference or
yeah.
anything, but
We're not sure.
see how it goes.
7 o'clock it is.
I got it.
think they have
got it.
Sometimes they do 7, but I don't.
Yeah, we'll see, we'll
I
find out.
don't remember.
Is there anybody here who's on the ZBA?
Yes,
Here?
No.
the date is the 12th.
It's Tuesday. And I'll check if you want me, give me time before the meeting.
Any other old business, Lori?
Yeah, some very exciting news. All of our dogs are licensed.
Yes. Ready to start again in January.
Before
Right, what did
December.
they pay for 2 years?
Wow.
We should say
People
all,
have asked that.
all
know
known
that.
dogs, so we might
How
have.
about that, having a 2-year?
Well,
State
you
law.
have to balance out
It's a
the
state
year.
law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has to be every year. Because it's based on the rabies vaccine. But those don't come, you don't have a rabies vaccine every year, it's a 3-year vaccine.
New ones.
You have one and then back one back to back and it needs to go to 3 years.
What?
You have a rabies shot and you get another one that goes back to back, but makes you go 3 years.
Right. That's too bad.
State.
But I just want all known dogs, because I'm
All
sure
known
there's
dogs.
probably a few that straggler that never leave the house and won't get rabies and,
Yeah, right.
Won't bite
Except for that
anybody.
one time, you have to,
They don't like to leave the
Compost,
house.
you get a
They'll
raccoon.
probably do their business. They're in the house all the time.
no, they have trained to use the litter box, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else, Lori?
I wanted to tell you that the past couple of days, I have been working with FEMA to finalize all of the projects. So, all 3 of the, other roads and the damages and the repairs have all been submitted. But I've been paid for 1, but not the other 2. I was able to go through Dave's time sheets, my time sheets, and come up with $4,800 worth of staff costs that we can submit for reimbursement and add that to the list. So that'll help. Yeah. Yeah. Took a while. I had to compose it all and calculate it all and copy it all.
And I don't know if anybody, this is I was reading this article and I thought, oh, this is our town. Yankee Magazine, there's always an article in the back by Ben Hewitt, he's way up in the Northeast Kingdom. And he wrote about riding in the town truck with the road commissioner driving. He's in Selectman in the back with his measuring wheel out front, and the town clerk is there in the front seat with her jotting down the distance, and the road commissioner's doing the coordinates, and all for FEMA, and he's going on about, of course, we're not gonna get paid right away, and all the payment and the paperwork, and this is Lori and Dave.
It is,
But
it
I
is.
just switched the name, it was a cute article, I thought, yep, we're not the only ones.
Over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
Yep.
You don't just do it once.
Oh, yeah, the same information, resubmitted.
Yeah, you guys had to resubmit, I don't know if they did, but it was just a cute article that I thought,
That's cool.
that's us. Yeah.
But they did bump our reimbursement up to 90%,
Oh,
so that's a big help for us.
Is it because they have money or our hazardous mitigation
Well, the
plan?
state requested more funding from the federal government because there were so many
Good.
damages. And I guess we approved.
Okay, that's good. What else do we have, old or new business or whatever?
Well, I figured I would let you guys know, the Justice of the Peace election resulted in a tie. I had to call the state. I read the law, but I just wanted to confirm. We have to have a runoff election unless one of the Justices of the Peace backs out and leaves a vacancy. It will have to be in-person voting, like the other day, from like 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. With check-in table, check-out table with the ladies.
It's just the two,
It's just the two.
two names on the ballot.
That
that's
one
all.
race, just with the two people who tied. I have to pull all this together within 7 days, set the date and post it and have it happen. Unless someone backs out before that.
And you said you already spoke, did you already speak to them?
I've spoken to both of them. They are both frustrated by the procedure, frustrated by the cost, and yet both feel like they would like to serve in that capacity, so I don't know.
You probably won't have 500 and some voters, I can't imagine that, but.
Right,
For
so
the
I'll have to
two.
have a team of counters, I mean, it'll be a repeat, but just for that one race. So I don't know what will happen. They canceled school for the last election. I don't know what impact this would have in the school. I don't know if we could kind of rearrange this room here and try and have it here so that we don't have to worry
Could
about
we
the
do it
school.
on a Saturday? I don't know,
And it has to be open all day.
10 to 7.
10 to 7.
Those are the
And
minimal
ballot, two ballots.
hours.
For Justice of the Peace?
Yeah.
I know.
We can appoint more, you know.
We
more
can't even
important
appoint
positions,
them, we
I
have to
guess.
tell
Still, you're
them.
gonna get the same amount of voters.
What's that
Or,
with the point?
We cannot.
We
Nah,
cannot.
you're not gonna get.
That was a record.
That's a state appointment.
The state's position,
What's that?
they are state
Almost
positions.
80%.
Yeah, as well.
So I don't know what will happen, but, I guess we'll.
See what you can do.
Yeah, just follow the guidelines and keep moving forward, I guess.
You should make
Nothing you
a
can do about it.
100-yard dash.
So you have 7 days to warn up.
Have a race.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful, you might not win on top.
Oh, like potato sack race?
So
Yeah,
next
potato
Tuesday,
sack race, that'd be good.
a week from the last election.
Monday's a holiday.
And Monday's a holiday.
Oh, it probably doesn't count in the state, I don't know, does it? I don't know.
State of Vermont is.
Yeah, dual, yeah,
Counts as a
bring
holiday.
that back.
If it counts the
I have it all
weekend,
right.
then it's.
I'm
then
not
it's
Jackson
all-
did that? Maybe you guys can have it.
We probably have to have everything ready to go by
I
Friday,
think he got.
Yeah.
so they can post it
That
on
was
Tuesday.
Hamilton, gosh.
Hamilton.
It would be just easier
Yeah,
than
right,
trying
yeah,
to go back
yeah.
to school.
I think they could come in, come in and go out.
They used to drink
You
too
know,
many
for
pints.
people,
So,
it's
these are our
right,
message.
but we'll
Yeah.
just have to get the vote.
Well,
Yeah.
Hamilton's
In
open
the
the
front
doors
door,
over
they
before
shut
that,
out
he was
the
gonna
edge.
shoot over Bird's
There
head,
you go.
but Bird never
Yeah.
got that done. It was just a matter of being, but yeah, you couldn't say no to a duel.
Right.
I challenged you, you had to.
What else you got?
Lori, have any other, no?
So he shot over his head.
Board of Abatement.
have
If anybody's
business.
got this Board of Abatement
That-
webinar Wednesday, November 13th, 1:30 to 3. I think Lori signed the town up for it, that we can meet here. It'd be good for, will we know who the new justice are by then?
I have a little business.
Is,
Yeah. No,
can I ask a question on the runoff?
yeah, are we, anything else on Board of Abatement? No, okay, just so that you're aware of it. I think Laura had her hand up first
Did
there.
anybody mention to you about the Halloween trick or treat?
No?
Went well, got lots of kids.
I drove by, looked like there was a lot of people there.
Yeah. The fire truck, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he was at the other end. We had a lot of speeders, which was
It's
unfortunate.
normal, isn't it? A lot of speeders going through.
So,
Yeah.
We had the dinosaur stopping traffic too, it was pretty
I
fun.
had, speaking of speeders, I had a crazy thought today, so.
You wanna
Me
put
and my wife
them,
were driving through Amherst, right, we were coming in pretty aggressive. Amherst has speed bumps,
Yep.
so it's gonna cost some air, literally, because I just imagine what these things would look like on Route 8 in Stamford.
oh yeah, they get right in Clarksburg.
Like, we were going fairly fast, but it wasn't, like,
Skip
it
the
wasn't
village,
like
right to
trouble,
Clarksburg, yeah.
maybe 50, and like, we took off a little.
Oh.
It'd be interesting to lay some of them down right off my.
Biggest thing is, it's,
You might wipe your
I'll
church
go
out.
by my house in the air.
no, it'd be like, it'd be nice to talk to the state and say, this is your road, you know?
Right.
I've seen on other parts of the state road, they put things up, why can't they do the same? You know, they got 100 signs down here coming into town, you don't have some kind of,
Oh, I'm just coming to this meeting, I just went around, but I drove up through town, I had a little time to go, and I had a guy pass me right here just before the bridge. Coming into the village, very fine, Mass plates.
Deb, you had a question?
Just real quick, so the runoff, it's just the two candidates?
So it will
No
only be
write-in? Like?
those who won.
Yes,
I need to know.
yes, there would be a one write-in, because there's one spot open.
So could there be a third if you get enough, I mean, could you?
oh, yeah,
on
yeah, I
the
see what you're
ballot?
saying.
So there will be 2 names on the ballot.
Yep.
For that one race. So the people who have won are out of it.
Right.
So,
But you could write in someone else's name.
Yeah,
just
that's
like any other
what
day.
I'm asking.
Oh my
technically you
goodness.
could.
Gracious.
Maybe we'll have to.
I'm always on the list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But nobody else can be on the ballot. Like they
No one
couldn't
else.
No,
collect
printed names.
signatures, no one.
That's right. No one can apply at this point to be on
Justice of
it.
the peace.
So you won't know till Monday if someone's stepping down. That's the last day they can step down.
Sunday night at midnight.
Sunday night at midnight, they have to
I
decide.
haven't I have to do this no matter what, unless I receive a resignation.
Uh-huh,
It's not on them to initiate it,
uh-huh.
it's on me, unless someone concedes.
And then by what date does the election have to happen, the vote?
Within 15 days to 21 days, so not long.
Okay.
So it happened very quickly.
What is exactly does the Justice of the Peace do besides count votes and marry people?
Board
They
of
are
Abatement,
Board of
tax
Abatement,
board.
Boards of Authority, and they go through the checklist every odd year.
you thinking of writing your name in?
Yeah, I'm right in. We got plenty of time
Yeah.
to do it.
Any other
Just
new
wanted to
business?
marry.
I got old business.
Oh,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
know
Oh,
about
yeah.
old business.
Sorry, yes.
Well, one of the things was talking about the voting, I saw that it was 76%, I think you said. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the town, that I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it was-
You know, that we have that kind of turnout. I know it was a presidential election, but, you know, it seems like we always have a good turnout, but I think that was amazing. And thank all the people that, I wasn't here, I was sick, but I think we should give a thank you to all the volunteers that do our voting. That's my first thing. My
Oh, can I
second,
say something about that?
sure.
I think everything went smooth out there. nobody, no violence, nothing, that this is our town.
There shouldn't be.
These are, whether you vote for Trump or Harris, this is still our town.
Absolutely.
And I think everything went smoothly. I mean, it was a late night, but nothing,
Midnight.
not normal, that's happened before, so
I saw
that's.
five hundred and twenty-something voters, right? 520-something?
568.
568, yes.
That's.
My second thing, I don't think you've heard from my wife about Christmas tree thing. And I don't think she's going to be doing it. I'm not gonna speak for her, but I don't think she's going to be. And I think, if someone wants to take that responsibility on, anyone in the town, anybody here, I will still set it up. So if that's all I ever do is Deb, the last couple times donated the tree. If Deb can't, it's okay, I can find the tree's immaterial, I can get it anywhere. But I have a nice stand that we developed for outside, it works really good. And I'll set it up, but I'm not going to head or do any of the actual, the night,
Program.
the program. So if someone wants to step forward to do that, I think it's time sensitive, it's already November 7th, you have to find a good day to do it. I don't know if anybody wants to do it. In the past, I think if you called Teresa and she would tell you, how she did it. She always used Luke, for many things. I don't know if Luke did it last year. I think the fire department might have done something, I'm not sure. Did they?
I don't remember if
I think the fire department did one
I
time.
don't remember either.
But between Luke and the fire department and so on,
Last year he was giving the sleigh rides or whatever?
well, one year he did the rides, and one year he didn't do it, because I actually bought the trailer from him, because he said he got rid of the horses, and he was gonna sell the trailer, I said, the wagon, and I bought it. I didn't have horses or anything, I just bought it, because I said, I hate to see that go to someone else, and I was gonna try to find someone, then he called me and said, hey, you wanna sell that back to me? I said, absolutely. So.
Very good.
But
Oh, he's got camels
he
now.
does, I mean, I don't know.
He's
You know,
a manager.
Try that on the
I'm
small
willing to help out,
It'll be a
you
slow
know.
ride.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm willing to help out, but, I know Teresa she stepped down on a lot of things, so, yep. So if there's anybody who wants to step forward,
We aren't pre-cutting any of our trees this year.
yep,
It was just too dry this summer. And we don't have any really big ones, so.
that's okay,
we just don't have it this
I
year.
mean, like I said, I'm sure, I got a buddy of mine that's got some that go, like you said, they get away from you and they get too big.
We
Them are
have,
the kind of the ones that towns.
we have 2, 3, but they're all tagged.
Yeah.
For people.
Sure,
And they're monsters.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you've done,
yeah, so.
So people
Past
want,
couple
they
years.
call you and
Yes.
set up an appointment.
Yeah, well, we're just doing the choosing cut this year.
yeah,
I don't wanna waste any trees.
right,
And they're gonna dry.
They are, yeah, I mean, if someone's gonna do it and you want it, just let me know, I can get a tree. I mean, I'm not, like, even if I have to pay for it, I'll get a tree somewhere. But, and I have the stand, I can put it up like I always do. Other than that, I'm not gonna be doing any of the cereal mowing or anything.
Well, we appreciate all she's done over
Yeah, I
there.
mean,
She's
I
really
think
organized
she's
it.
been doing it 6-7 years, something like that,
Yeah.
it's
As long as she's been
time for
here.
new blood if they wanna do it. Well, up until she started doing it, when we came here, there was no
Nothing.
Christmas tree at all, so if, they wanna continue the tradition, someone needs to step forward.
I remember going to school here and they always had one in the gym. And it was like the size of the one that they had on Main Street in North Adams.
John Teeman used to bring it in, and then they got concerned with insurance for having a live tree inside the building.
Yeah.
And that's when they stopped
Yeah.
that.
Insurance companies ruling the world.
That lawyers.
Yep,
Well, they will go up fast.
sure.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. Some kid comes in.
Yeah, it was nice, like all the kids help decorate the tree.
Yeah,
and
figure
it
orders
was-
and everything.
It was good back then.
Okay, if there's no other business, I'd like to make the motion to go into executive session for pending or probable civil litigation.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you all for your support.
Thank you.
No, it's gonna be an open and shut kind of thing. If it doesn't work out for Paul, I'll ask you to appoint me to run the meeting.
Okay.
You can always substitute a moderator.